multi-point and ultimate flip lever astragal cut down instructions. Before you start, you'll need to determine your index number. First, measure the starting length of the astragal and round down to the nearest inch. Next, take the new desired length and round to the nearest inch. Lastly, take the difference between the two rounded numbers. This is your index number. Record this number for later steps. For example, if cutting a 79 1/4 of an inch astragal down to 76 3/4, round 79 1/4 to 79 and 76 3/4 to 76. Subtract the two numbers, 79 minus 76, and yields an index number of 3. Note, each astragal has its own minimum and maximum length. Step 1. Remove the components from the astragal body. First, remove the astragal trim and hardware packs. Next, remove the upper trim cap from the top of the astragal. Then remove the upper bolt assembly. Unscrew the assembly by removing the screws and T-nuts. Now rotate bolt drive plug out of notch. And then slide bolt out of the astragal. Repeat these steps for the bottom of the astragal. Remove trim cap. Remove lower bolt assembly by removing the screws and T-nuts. Rotate bolt drive plug out of notch. And slide bolt assembly out of astragal body. Next, remove the deadbolt actuator. Remove tape and trim cover. Rotate astragal face down. Use a Phillips head screwdriver to remove the clip from the back of the astragal. Once this is done, simply rotate the actuator out of the astragal body towards the narrow edge of the astragal. Step 2. Resize and reassemble the T-bar. First, you'll need to remove the actuator cam. To do this, locate the T-bar in the bottom of the astragal and slide it out until it passes the end of the astragal. Next, remove the actuator cam and put it aside for now. Next, locate the T-bar on the opposite top end of the astragal body. Slide the T-bar out until the removable segments are shown. Remove segments based on the index number. Discard the removed segments and reassemble the T-bar. Slide the T-bar back into the astragal body. Slide the T-bar out of the bottom of the astragal and reinstall the actuator cam. Step 3. Cut the astragal body. Note, each astragal has a min and maximum length. Always cut from the top of the astragal. Measure and mark the top of the astragal for the cut length. Be sure to slide the T-bar out of the way if necessary and cut the astragal body. A 9/16 notch at the top of the astragal is necessary and must be restored. To restore the notch, mark the wide side of the astragal 9/16 of an inch from the top. Then make a second cut through the astragal, cutting the wide side as shown. Step 4. Reassembling the astragal. Reinstall the lower chute bolt. Slide lower bolt assembly into its original position in the astragal body. Lift the lower lock leg as it passes over the actuator cam. The bolt should be relatively flush with the end of the astragal. Engage the lower chute bolt drive lug in the adjacent J-bar notch. Reinstall screws and T-nuts into the original holes on the bolt. Check the function of the astragal by engaging the flip lever. Replace the lower trim cap. Next, install the upper chute bolt. Slide upper chute bolt assembly into the astragal body until the end of the bolt is flush with the end of the astragal. Lift the lock leg as it passes over the actuator cam. Continue sliding the bolt inward until it finds the nearest set of mounting holes. Engage the upper chute bolt drive lug in the adjacent J-bar notch. Reinstall screws and T-nuts. Check the operation of the upper chute bolt by throwing the flip lever. And reinstall the upper trim cap. Next, replace the deadbolt actuator. Measure and mark the astragal body at the center of the deadbolt position. Rotate actuator into the astragal body starting at the narrow edge of the astragal. Using the marking from the previous step, line up the score line on the actuator body with the center of the passive panel deadbolt bore. Ensure the teeth on the actuator adjusted engage the rack teeth on the adjustment insert. Replace actuator cover and slide trim up to and under the actuator. Finally, check the operation of the actuator and lock pause. Depress the actuator and ensure that both upper and lower lock pause operate correctly. Please see our website for more detailed instructions.